It's recording, and I'd like to welcome you all to another travel edition. So we have Blue as our presenter. Thank you so much. And for the month of January, we're looking at 2026. So a general overview of different items that we can take into our new year. Last week it was food. This week it's music around the world. So Blue, you can please get
Yeah, well,
started.
welcome travelers. We're so excited to have you all on the call again. I tell you, I'm learning a whole lot from these calls going on, what, 2, 3 years now. We're traveling the world through music, though, today. Of course, you don't need a passport. Just listen, enjoy short clips, fun facts, and conversation. Well, this will be interesting. This will be really interesting. I'm excited about this one.
Yeah. So first up, I actually have this article from the Harvard Gazette. And, again, one of the themes we're taking in, or I'm taking this year is intention. So it's always kind of good to look at the overall. So this is a comprehensive study that explains that is music is universal and that some songs just sound right in different social contexts all over the world. So it's about a 5-minute read. So Lou, take it away.
Chapter 2. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote, "Music is the universal language of mankind." Scientists at Harvard have just published the most comprehensive scientific study to date on music as a cultural product, which supports the American poet's pronouncement and examines what features of song tend to be shared across societies. Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah,
The
this was
study
about 7 years ago. So
Fascinating. The study was conceived of by Samuel Mayer, a fellow at the Harvard Data Science Initiative, and research associate in psychology, Manveer Singh, a graduate student from the Department of Human Evolutionary Biology, and Luke Glowacki, formerly a Harvard graduate student and now a professor of anthropology at Penn State. They set out to address big questions. Is music a culture? Is music a cultural university? Universal, sorry. If that's a given, which musical qualities overlap across disparate societies? If it isn't, why does it seem so ubiquitous? But they needed a data set of unprecedented breadth and depth. Over a 5 year period, the team hunted down hundreds of recordings in libraries and private collections of scientists half a world away. We are so used to being able to find any piece of music that we like on the internet, said Mayer, who is now a principal investigator at Harvard's Music Lab. But there are thousands and thousands of recordings in archives. At one point, we were looking for traditional Celtic music, and we found a call number in the Harvard library system. The librarian told us we needed to wait on the other side of the library because there was more room over there. 20 minutes later, this poor librarian comes out with a cart of about 20 cases of reel to reel recordings of Celtic music. Mayer added those reel tapes to the team's growing discography, combining it with a corpus of ethnography containing nearly 5,000 descriptions of songs from 60 human societies. Mayer, Singh, and Galwaki call this database the Natural History of Song. Their questions were so compelling that the project rapidly grew into a major international collaboration with musicians, data scientists, psychologists, linguists, and political scientists. Published in Science this week, it represents the team's most ambitious study yet about music. Mayer
mhm.
Singh, a graduate student at Harvard University who studied indigenous music and performance in his field work. Here, Mentali children in Serabut Island, Indonesia, are practicing in the kitchen. Oh, look at that!
They went out and they went in person, and they studied
Serabut Island, wow.
in Indonesia. They're practicing in their kitchen.
They have some really primitive tribes out there. Remember some of those untouched tribes are out there. Wow. Music appears in every society observed. That's really interesting. As a graduate student, I was working on studies in infant music perception, and I started to see all these studies that made claims about music being universal, Mer said. How is it that every paper on music starts out with a big claim, but there's never a citation backing that up? Now we can back it up. They looked at every society for which there was ethnographic information in a large online database, 315 in all, and found mention of music in all of them. For the discography, they collected 118 songs from a total of 86 cultures covering 30 geographic regions, and they added the ethnographic material they collected. I started to see all these studies that make claims about music being universal. How is it that every paper on music starts out with a big claim, but there's never a citation? Now we have it. The team and their researchers coded the ethnography and discography and made up the natural history of song into dozens of variables. They logged the details about singers, audience members, time of day, duration of the singing, presence of instruments, and more for thousands of passages of songs in ethnographic corpus. And the discography was analyzed four different ways: machine summaries, listener ratings, expert annotations, expert transcripts. They found that across societies, music is associated with behaviors such as infant care, healing, dance, love, among many others, like mourning, warfare, processions, and ritual. Examining lullabies, healing songs, dance songs, love songs in particular, they discovered that songs that share behavioral functions tend to have similar musical features. Lullabies and dance songs are ubiquitous. They are also highly stereotyped, Singh said. For me, dance songs and lullabies tend to define the space of what music can be. They do very different things with features that are almost the opposite of each other.
Hmm.
Definitely seeing music across and cross cultural excites Singh because he comes to the natural history of song project as someone who studies the social, cognitive, and cultural evolutionary foundations of complex traditions found throughout societies, from music to law, narrative to witchcraft. For Mayer, who began his academic life in music education, the study looks toward unlocking the governing rules of musical grammar, the idea that percolates among music theorists, linguists, and psychologists of music for decades, but has never been demonstrated across cultures. In music theory, to tonality is often assumed to be the invention of Western music, but our data raises the controversial possibility that this could be a universal feature of music. That raises pressing questions about the structure that underlies music everywhere, whether and how our minds are designed to make music. Interesting.
What do you all think? Music is universal.
Well,
There was always that claim, but they never really did research on it. And I thought this was so interesting. The National History of Song. There's a whole website right here, the musiclab.org. I'll put it in the chat. But look at all different kinds of music.
I want to find out what their findings are, though. Like, what are the commonalities? Maybe if
Hmm.
I check the website out, I can find out.
Yeah. Isn't this amazing that you can see all the different cultures and societies represented? So they really went all over the world to see the similarities between the music.
I wonder if you fed that into AI, if it would find, some of these answers.
Music is a signature of the human experience. Do you all agree with that? I think so. Music is in all cultures.
They
Music is in
say
what we do.
they say music is a universal language. I think so too.
Hmm. Hmm. Just like food, right? We all eat food and enjoy food just in our own special ways. So I kind of akin food to music. I hope you all agree or see what I'm saying.
Music soothes the savage beast.
No matter where that beast came from, right?
Amen. Amen.
Did it get you wrong?
Every time.
I know what you mean.
Yep. Play me a song and you got me.
All right.
Thank you, Lou, for reading, and I hope you enjoyed and everyone learns and just think of music in a whole different way. Now, let's go into some different kinds of music around the world. Lou?
I'm supposed to read it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. In the United States, jazz and blues. Jazz began in New Orleans. Blues tells us emotional stories, popular in the early mid 1900s.
Mm-hmm. So let's take a look at some jazz. So this video is from the National Museum of American History. What is jazz? Again, you may learn something new, and we'll chat about it. So thank you all so much. You can ooh your ahs and enjoy the video.
But jazz is like love. It's something we recognize when we encounter it. It's very hard to define.
Who likes jazz on the call? You can say yes or raise your hand, or any lovers of jazz.
I love jazz.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I grew up on jazz.
I love that. I try to play some during before we start during calls. It definitely gets you awake.
Fun to hear. It's complex. It's creative. It's inspiring. It's basically a life force.
Well, it's always moving forward.
Life force, but weren't we just talking about music is universal? It's our human beings.
It isn't music of the past, it's music of today. It's music of the future.
Jazz came out of the African American community experience, and much of that is based on the Black church. Call and response is an active component of praise and worship. The leader speaks, and then the audience responds. The person who's taking the solo makes a musical statement, someone might respond to that statement. So it becomes an actual conversation that's going on. It's a conversation.
Jazz is the conversation of music. You can have a conversation through music without saying any words.
One of the hallmarks of jazz is improvisation. And so you're responding to lots of things, ideas that you have in your head, things that you know, things that are coming at you in a millisecond. You really want to lose yourself in the music, and you don't know what's coming out of you. But the only thing that's coming out of you is what's inside of you.
Jazz expresses core American values: freedom, risk-taking, cultural diversity, innovation, creative collaboration, and democracy.
When you see me coming, baby, raise your window up high.
In a democracy, everybody gets a vote. In a good jazz band, everybody gets a voice.
It's inclusive. And I think that's the wonderful thing about jazz, but also about this country, is that we all have the opportunity to have a voice. And to me, jazz epitomizes that.
You better hang your head and cry.
I don't think you.
Look at that picture, y'all. To see what's going on. Who's there? Who's in the audience? Who's playing? Look at this instrument right here. Amazing.
Can go through thinking about American music without touching on jazz and realizing that at some point jazz is what created R&B, is what led to rock and roll, is what led to the songs that you can listen to in your car today.
It has influenced language. It has influenced fashion. It has influenced social interaction.
Jazz and culture are inextricably linked. You can't tell the story of America without jazz. The jazz collection here is one of the core strengths of the museum's collections. It's really a crown
And you can go see it. National Museum of American History.
jewel in the Smithsonian. The museum's jazz collections cover the whole sweep of the music's history. Sheet music, manuscripts, photographs, films, stage clothing, paintings.
We have awards. We have multiple Grammys, that for Ella, that for Duke. We have Duke Ellington's Presidential Medal of Freedom.
We acquired Duke Ellington's archives in 1988, and we wanted to bring that music alive, to make the archive sing. So the best way to do that was to have our own orchestra.
You recognize this tune, right?
Music is a live thing. It has a spirit, it has an energy. And you cannot appreciate music just by looking at a sheet of paper. It's experienced best in a live situation. So the orchestra takes the music off the page and breathes new life into it.
Jazz Appreciation Month is a month every April, every year, to cast a spotlight on jazz.
This music has a long arc of influence, and it's been something that has been embraced all around the world.
Jazz is our history, but also jazz is still happening. Let's celebrate that. Let's do something with that.
Jazz is such a vital part of America's cultural heritage. It's really important that the public understand it, appreciate it, and value it. Jazz is America, and America is jazz.
Anyone want to share what they thought? Anything new that they learned? Do you agree? What do you all think?
I wholeheartedly agree. Love jazz. My mama taught me jazz.
Yes.
Learned to appreciate it.
Yes.
Yes.
Miles Davis, John Coltrane.
Ray Charles. The Crusaders. Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers.
Oh, they said
Wow.
They said it right, all corners of music.
Yeah.
That started with jazz.
Nancy Wilson. Oh my God, yeah.
Back to me.
Well,
You know, jazz was really popular in Louisiana, so we grew up on that.
Yeah,
when I was a little
it
kid,
began in New Orleans.
I used to sneak down to Greenwich Village.
Oh yeah, buddy. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir. That was headquarters. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Tom. I know that's
Yeah.
right.
That's right, Tom. You a New York fella. That's right. That's right. Like Bourbon Street in New Orleans. Good Google Mook.
Oh, I wish I could have seen that with my own two eyes. I'm glad you all enjoy. Now let's look, jazz.
I didn't know Duke Ellington's from DC.
Oh yeah.
I should have known that.
Yeah,
he has a school.
For him. He had a school down in Georgetown. My daughter used to go there.
Yeah, it's still there. Yep, Duke Ellington. I took a few classes there in middle school. So
Blues Alley.
I just look. He lived in Shaw neighborhood.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. So Duke Ellington. It's jazz is within us.
Yeah. The school used to be called Western.
Yeah.
Oh,
It used to be called Western, but they changed it to Ellington School of the Arts.
Yeah.
That's where Josh Harris went, the owner of the Commanders.
Oh, okay.
You'll be here all day trying to name all them jazz groups, all them wonderful jazz musicians, Tommy Dorsey, and all those big band era came out.
Right. Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh, you have to name them.
Deb Calloway. That's Mo.
So many.
The box with the
So many.
Yeah.
So let's look at we looked at the jazz. Now let's look at blues. Who likes the blues?
Oh, BB King. Yeah.
The history and evolution of blues music.
I danced first
Welcome
dance
to
to
another
one of his
Blackbird's
songs.
Journey documentary.
Down in the
First time I
Delta.
ever danced.
Genre rich in history,
Down in the
emotion,
Delta.
and cultural significance.
Yes. History, emotion, cultural significance. That's what the blues is.
Originating in the deep south of the United States in the late 19th
Oh,
century,
mighty water.
blues has influenced numerous musical styles and continues to
Robert
resonate
Johnson.
with audiences today.
Mhm.
This docu-short explores the roots and origins
Look,
of
there's
blues
B.B.
music,
King.
its
Bobby
early
Blue Band.
musicians, the life and career of B.B. King,
The
the
Chitlin
significance of the Chitlin Circuit,
Yep.
and the impact
Yeah.
of modern-day blues artists. Roots and origins. Blues music emerged from the African American communities in the Mississippi Delta.
The Blues Trail. Anyone familiar with this?
Down in the Delta.
And from Mississippi to Memphis, the bright lights of Beale Street and the promise of musical stardom have lured blues musicians from nearby Mississippi since the early 1900s. Early Memphis blues luminaries who migrated from Mississippi included Gus Cannon, Lewis, Jim Jackson, the Memphis Manali. In the post-World War II era, many native Mississippians became blues, souls, and rock. Some. Interesting. Blues Trail. I've never heard of this.
Its roots can be traced back to African musical traditions, work songs, spirituals, and folk music. The music often expressed the struggles and emotions of African Americans living in a racially segregated society. Key characteristics of blues include the use of blue notes, call and response patterns.
Oh, call and response. Didn't we just hear that for jazz as well?
And a 12-bar blues structure. Early blues musicians. Early blues musicians played a crucial role in popularizing the genre. Notable figures include W.C. Handy, often called the father of the blues. Handy published some of the first blues sheet music, bringing the genre to a wider audience.
Anyone heard of W.C. Handy?
Yeah.
Well, if something new. Hope
That's way back.
Robert Johnson, a legendary
There he is.
Robert Johnson.
figure
There
in
he
blues
is.
Look at him.
history. Johnson's virtuoso guitar playing and emotive singing have left a lasting impact on the genre. Mamie Smith, her recording of Crazy Blues in
Amy Smith.
1920 was one of the first blues records by an African American artist to achieve commercial success. These musicians and others helped establish the foundation of blues music, paving the way for future generations. B.B. King, the King of Blues. Riley B. King, known as B.B. King, was born on September 16, 1925, in Itabena, Mississippi. His career spanned over 6 decades, during which he became one of the most influential blues musicians of all time. Early life, B.B. King grew up working on cotton plantations, where he was exposed to the blues music of the Mississippi Delta. He bought his first guitar at the age of 12 and began performing on street corners.
Did you all know that?
Yeah.
Him and Lucille.
Rise to fame.
12 years old.
In the 1940s, King moved to Memphis, Tennessee, where he gained recognition through radio performances and recordings.
Highway 61 Blues.
His unique guitar style, characterized by expressive bending and vibrato, set him apart from other musicians. Career highlights: King released numerous hit songs, including 3 O'Clock Blues, The Thrill Is Gone, and Lucille. He won 15 Grammy Awards and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987. Legacy: B.B. King's contributions to blues music are immeasurable. He influenced countless musicians across genres, and his legacy continues to inspire new generations of artists. The Chitlin Circuit.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that picture. B.B. King, all right there on the bus.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
The Chitlin Circuit was a network of venues in the southern United States that provided performance opportunities for African American musicians during the era of racial segregation. These venues, often small clubs and juke joints, were crucial for the development of blues, jazz, and R&B. Significance: the Chitlin Circuit allowed African American artists to reach audiences who were often excluded from mainstream venues. It was a training ground for many legendary musicians, including B.B. King, James Brown, and Little Richard. Challenges. Despite the opportunities, performing on the Chitlin circuit was challenging. Musicians often faced poor working conditions, long travel distances, and racial discrimination.
Was that true?
Ain't no doubt.
Was
Oh,
that
yeah.
true?
Mm-hmm.
It's so sad that was true.
Ron, do you remember Howlin' Wolf?
Oh yeah, Stax Records.
Discrimination. However, the circuit also fostered a strong sense of community and camaraderie among artists.
Power and community, right, folks?
Yep.
Modern-day blues artists. Blues music continues to evolve and thrive in the modern era. Contemporary blues artists draw inspiration from the genre's rich history while incorporating styles. Notable artists, modern blues musicians
Gary Clark Jr.
like Gary Clark Jr., Joe Bonamassa, and Susan Tedeschi have gained acclaim for their innovative approaches to the genre.
Know any of these names?
Yeah.
All three?
I've heard of Gary Clark Jr.
Me too.
Not familiar with Joe Bonamassa.
Me neither.
These artists blend traditional blues with rock, soul, and other genres, attracting diverse audiences. Role in today's music. Blues music remains relevant in today's music scene. It serves as a foundation for many popular genres, including rock, hip-hop, and country. The emotional depth and storytelling of blues continue to resonate with listeners, making the history of blues music is a testament to the resilience and creativity of African American communities.
Any thoughts on the blues? Luke, seniors, anything new that you learned? Hope you enjoyed.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Toronto. Did a good job of explaining blues.
I'm telling you, that's the basis for just about all the music you hear today, especially today's DC go-go.
Of course, yeah. Jazz and the blues, they both influence all other kinds of music, and they influenced each other. So I'm so glad that we could share it. Now we're traveling a little bit. So Lou, take it away.
Thanks. Yeah, I was just researching that Blues Crossroad. That's fascinating area. So Jamaica reggae, oh my gosh, relaxed rhythm and positive messages gained worldwide popularity in the 1970s. All right.
That's true, right, Louise?
Bob Marley and the Wailers. Third World. Google
1970. Louise?
Toots and the Maytals.
Let's see what it's talking about. Reggae music, a brief history. You may learn something new.
The offbeat chords, the 4/4 rhythm, the melodic lyrics.
Look, Earth and Stone, is that familiar, folks? 1977, Earth and Stone.
Reggae's soothing sound was born out of Jamaica's turbulent history. Colonized by Spain in the 1500s and then by England in 1655, enslaved people were transported from Africa to work on the country's sugar plantations. A blend of African and European influences met in Mento, a distinctively Jamaican folk sound.
Mento, but look, at first, it was all the different cultures and people came to Jamaica. Mento.
That sounds like Spanish.
Yeah.
At the end of the 50s, Mento gave way to ska, combining elements.
You know ska?
Yes, ska.
So first it was Mento, and then it's
to the Jamaican folk sound. At the end of the 50s, Mento gave way to ska. Combining elements of Mento and Calypso with American R&B, ska was characterized by a walking bass line accented with rhythms on the offbeat. In 1962, Jamaica was granted independence and ska reflected the mood.
1962, so it's been 64 years. of independence.
I think it was
Throughout the 50s
yeah.
and 60s, sound systems spread through the streets of Kingston. The big hitters were Arthur Duke Reid's The Trojan, Prince Buster's Voice of the People, and Cox and Dodd's Downbeat. As well as ska, the sound systems played the latest R&B inputs, but when the States fell in love with soul, the records dried up. To keep their decks spinning, producers looked to homegrown Jamaican talent. Fierce competition meant music melded, adapted, and morphed quickly. Ska made way for rocksteady, slower, more rhythmic, with added vocals. And before long, rocksteady ushered in the reggae revolution. The bass took charge and the tempo rose again to around 70 to 80 BPM. It was Toots and the Maytals' 1968 hit.
I told you, Toots and the Maytals.
Toots and the Maytals. 1968 hit.
Do the reggae that named the genre. Jamaica had been in the grip of political unrest for decades, and in Kingston, extreme poverty erupted into violence. Rude boys carrying ratchet knives and handguns doled out rough justice on the streets. In response, reggae's lyrics brought words of hope. In the 50s, 60s and 70s, over 100,000 people emigrated from Jamaica to the UK, including reggae's rising stars. In 1968,
isn't that interesting? They went to Jamaica to the United Kingdom. I didn't know that.
Trojan Records was formed. Reggae was now being made on two very different islands. Just like the mods and rockers before them, white working class youths or skinheads loved reggae because it was rebel music, sidelined by the BBC and exclusive to pirate stations and packed dance floors. Britain's love affair with reggae was cemented in 1969 when Desmond Decker's Israelites became the UK's first Jamaican recorded #1.
What? Desmond Decker. I've heard of that name before. UK's first Jamaican recorded #1. Isn't that amazing?
Trojan's Tighten Up compilation albums were essential listening in London, Birmingham and Bristol, where the reggae scene blossomed. Across the Atlantic, in a volatile district called Trenchtown, Bob Marley was making his voice heard. A wailer was someone who called out from the ghetto, a sufferer and a witness. By this time, reggae was synonymous with the Rastafarian movement, and Marley's mission was one of peace and unity. By the late 70s, reggae was a global phenomenon. Today, there are more than 2,000 reggae festivals every year, and reggae sound lives on through dubstep, dancehall, jungle, ragga, and grime.
Yeah.
Any thoughts? What did you learn something new? I learned so much from this video. What'd you think, Louise? What'd you think, seniors? Any thoughts? So much of history. I mean, from Jamaica to the UK to England to Spain. I mean, that was quite a history, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize Jamaica got independence so recently. I researched. It looks like they were ruled by UK for 307 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were singing to the Queen all the time. God save our gracious Queen.
Wow.
Long live our noble Queen.
When you all got independence, was it hard? Like, was there a war or anything?
Well, not really. But there was a lot of uprising all over, little here and there.
Like the video kind of said, right? So that's, the whole, Bob Marley and his, mission for peace and everything. So,
if not election time, they always make a mess.
Yeah.
Keep playing that music.
You better stay in your house.
Yeah, they roll them fat spliffs and come out and play that music.
I know.
We're traveling once again. So here, Lou, another one.
Brazil samba. So interesting, energetic and joyful, connected to carnival and celebration. Samba.
Brazil.
I wish Mr. Harold was here. He visited.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Remember that?
So, we're here to remember. And samba, we'll learn, is not just music, it's also dance as well.
Yeah.
Mr. L has so many travel stories about going to Brazil.
I want to go. I want to go.
Just look, here it is. You get a taste.
They look like they're knocking some pots and pans together.
Yeah.
What is samba? Samba is a style of music and dance that originates from Brazil. It's born from the people, of the people, and it sounds incredible. It started in the small places like kitchens of the local people.
Hey, look at
What did I tell you? Like kitchen.
I mean, that's amazing.
People, and has grown to be something that we recognize as a massive sound. It's full of energy, it's loud, it's bold, it's big, but also it can be a small little group coming together and singing. The way in which we know it best is probably when we think about carnival and we think about it being on the streets. We think about loads and loads of people playing drums. We think about people dancing in beautiful, elaborate costumes.
Wow.
And that's definitely what it is. But
Wow.
Again, is this someone's first time learning about samba? Or do you all know about samba?
I heard about
Heard of it? I've heard of it. I don't know much about it. So
Word, but that's it.
Samba, Brazil.
Rumba too.
Look at these costumes. Goodness.
Yes,
gracious.
sir.
Those
Yes,
costumes are gorgeous.
Amazing. Look at the people.
That fireworks in the background.
started is a little
Look at that. Wow.
Beautiful. Look at that. So meticulously made.
bit different. Brazil in the 15 to 1700s was settled by the Portuguese. When they settled the country, they brought with them slaves. And if you take a piece of string and you put it from the tip of Brazil and stretch it across to Africa, you'll get the line from Angola they were taken from and brought to Bahia.
Look at that, a straight line. That's interesting.
And that's where most of them settled. They brought with them candomblé, which is a religion that brings with it loads of stories and song and dance and instrumentation. They made their own instruments and they played. And the Portuguese, of course, had their own traditions, stringed music. As it began to mix and the music started to fuse, that's where it started. Then it was born Jongo. Then it moved to Batido de Alto. Then it moved on to samba. But this is over quite a long period of time.
Look at all the people.
Yeah, they used to do jankuno.
Yeah.
So, I used to cry and run. I thought they were real. When they come, we don't want to come out at all, and they dance and they make a mess in the street. We be crying, oh, we're scared. We're scared.
When in 1889 Brazil became a republic and slavery was abolished.
Look, abolition of slavery in Brazil, May 13th, 1888.
Wow.
They were able to travel down from Bahia and make their way to Rio, which was the capital of Brazil.
Rio. We know about Rio.
It had much more prospects in terms of jobs and being able to build a future for themselves. Although they still weren't able to practice their music, they were able to get together in the houses of the local people, the donas, the aunties, and they practiced their music together. That's how it moved from being something that they did casually, and they started to bring some kind of structure to it. And in 1917, the first samba was born. It was called Pelo Telefone. It isn't quite what you would expect as an outsider listening to samba, because it's actually quite a bit slower and it's really melodic bass and it's got one person singing. It's kind of some. As they became more able to practice their own music and the community was able to meet in bigger places, music itself began to become bigger.
Look at that.
The sound of samba is characterized by all these drums coming together, and they create a polyrhythmic texture. Each drum and each style of drum.
Look, tamborim, timba, kaiksa, repique, surdo. Tamborim.
Has a specific job to do within the band and sound that it creates to create the basis of it. Where it started, it was probably quite slow and a bit more melodic and a few more people. Now, today, you get hundreds of people coming together and learning these rhythms. It also has songs that go with it. It has the folk songs, the kind of soft and more melodic thing, but then also it has songs that people write for their samba schools. What is a samba school? A samba school is a local kind of community centre in the different places in Brazil where people meet throughout the year and they learn these songs. Someone's written the song, or a group of people tend to write these songs. And a samba enredo is what you call these songs, where people come together, they write a song, and then they use this as their theme tune, and they go into the carnival and they enter the competition. The first carnival.
Oh my, look it. They're so creative.
They did a lot of work.
Was in 1723.
First Carnival 1723.
It's been a long tradition since then and still goes on today. People come together to write songs. They have their singers called puxadoras who sing. They have their dancers, their sambistas, dancers, dance section. They have their bateria, which is the drum section, where they have people who do costume making. They have people coming in to build the massive float, which then goes with them on their carnival day. And it's a big deal. It's the pride of the community. Having a solid bateria that plays their songs perfectly is really important because they're out for competition and they're out to represent the best of their community. And it's a big deal for the whole country. And where does it sit? It sits in February. They have this massive celebration before they go into Lent, where they then, for 40 days, abstain and fast. So it's important to have their party. It's a massive part of their tradition.
Wow.
That is what samba is. It's a great music style, especially when you think about it, that you can apply it to other countries like our own. We have Brazilian bands over here, and we have bands that have learnt the style of music and teach others that style and share the joy of samba with them too. So let's have a look at the instruments that you would find in a band.
Samba, would you ever would attend or even see or view more? That looks amazing.
Yes.
Like this right here. Oh my God.
Wow.
Someone made that.
That is huge.
You see the reason why we run away and cry.
I heard that, Louise.
I knew what you said.
Samba. It's not just music, it's also dance.
Yeah.
I love it.
You know what? There's a group, it's called Brazil 66.
Yes.
Herb Albert presents Sergio Mendes in Brazil 66, and they got a song in there called One Note Samba. And they speak in Spanish, but I mean, the music just sounds so good. I mean, you love it even though you don't know the language.
Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass.
Yeah.
It was tough. They was real tough.
Cross-cultural. Music is cross-cultural. I love that. Hope you enjoyed that. They mentioned folk music in the video, so now let's again travel the world to Ireland. So folk music has a lot of storytelling through song, and it's like the others are often played at gatherings. So let's watch some of this video right here, the Celtic roots of American folk and country music. Hope you all enjoy.
Music of Ireland and Scotland is some of the most recognizable cultural music in the world. When you hear Scottish pipes or an Irish fiddle, you immediately know where that music is from.
Wow.
But those unique sounds didn't just stay locked away in the old countries. In fact, you can hear their influence in one of the most popular genres of music right here in America. Of course, I'm talking about country music. European settlement in the area that would become Appalachia began in the early 17th century. well before there was even a country for country music to be named after. As territory along the colonial coast was gradually bought up, new settlers were forced to move farther inland. Many of these later colonial migrants were working-class English, Scottish, Irish, or Scots-Irish. Either too poor to buy the expensive land that remained on the coast, or simply not wishing to deal with other people, many of the new colonists moved inland. By the end of the 18th century, nearly 500,000 Scots-Irish had migrated to America, with a large number of them settling deep in the mountainous frontier. The musical traditions these settlers brought from home would heavily influence the music that evolved in the Appalachian region. Traditional music stylings from Ireland are some of the most easily recognizable. Flutes, mandolins, harps are all prominent features of early Appalachian music. Ireland also provided what might be the single most important instrument in country, the fiddle.
The fiddle.
Yeah, country music.
Outside influence. American fiddling took on a new sound of its own, but you can still hear that old Irish accent underneath. The religion of these original settlers also played an important part. You see, many of them could not read, and even fewer could read music. As a result, other methods had to be used to help folks learn tunes and memorize hymns for services. One of these methods was called lining out. This technique involved a version of call and response, and had been largely developed by the
folk music, jazz, blues. I mean, you all see how everything is circular, cyclical.
Covenanters in northern Scotland back in the 17th century.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Another method involved printing sheet music with pictures called shape notes rather than standard musical notes. And of course, there was the ancient practice of setting new songs to old, well-known tunes. Regardless of the method, the effort that went into teaching people music really shows how important it was to the culture of this region. Of course, music from the British Isles was not the only ingredient in the recipe for country. Another crucial element was the musical traditions of African slaves. In addition to rhythms and vocal stylings, one tangible contribution was the very special instrument, the banjo. The American banjo is likely derived from a West African instrument called an akontik, which has a drone string and a hide-covered soundbox. This unique instrument would evolve into one of country music's most iconic instruments, and inspired generations of virtuosos.
Look at Kermit. But I just want to say, country music, there's a whole, Beyonce and the country winning, but country music, it's made up of like just all the other music's all different cultures, but yes, African Americans.
My dad used to play that banjo so well.
Yeah.
And they made us a little tiny one. We call it pianka because we could only go pianka, 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 pianka.
For example, Irish immigrant Patrick Gilmore wrote, "When Johnny Comes Marching Home,"
When Johnny Comes Marching Home,
as a more pro-war rewrite of the Irish protest song, "Johnny, I Hardly Knew Ya." This hit became one of the most popular songs in the Union.
Johnny, I Hardly Knew You.
So the Confederacy also had its fair share of popular music that borrowed old melodies. The Bonnie Blue Flag, for instance, also known as the unofficial anthem of the Confederacy, was set to a popular Irish tune by an Irish immigrant who came to America. Meanwhile, tens of thousands of Irish immigrants participated in the war on both sides and brought their own music with them. When the war ended, the troops took the songs and styles they had learned from their comrades home, further cross-pollinating the flowers of America's musical culture. And so it went. Then in the 1880s, a little gizmo called the phonograph started to gain popularity. Could you get recordings of Appalachian music now? Not yet. At first, studios only recorded classical symphonic music or opera, high culture stuff. After all, this new medium was still a bit pricey. As the decades passed, more and more popular music filtered in. But by about 1920, recorded music still sounded pretty much like this. Pretty, vanilla, right?
Oh, I'm gonna put this in the chat because we're running a little bit almost out of time. But wow, like the Civil War and just the origins and different cultures influencing folk and country music. Any thoughts on this video?
The song "Oh Danny Boy" that came from Irish music, didn't it? I still love hearing that song being sung at funerals.
Beautiful.
There's "Oh Danny Boy."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's deeply associated with Irish culture. It's an unofficial anthem, but its lyrics were written by
Wow,
English.
there it is. Yeah,
But it
okay.
was a traditional Irish melody called Londonderry
Yeah,
Air.
I hear that.
Yeah, I've heard of that before, Londonderry Air. But Danny Boy is an Irish folk song. Yeah, yeah. Hope you all enjoyed and check out that video in the chat, okay? We got one more for today. India. So we're really traveling across the world. Classical instrumental music. So have you heard of the sitar and the tabla?
Ravi Shankar. Ravi Shankar was a famous sitar player.
The sitar.
Yeah, they were. My senior class English teacher took me to Constipation Hall to see Ravi Shankar play that sitar with fingers would bleed. He'd pluck them damn strings so hard.
This video here is from Great Performances from PBS, and this is breaking down classical Indian music. So you're going to learn about the rag and the tal. The rag and the tal. And this will be our last session.
So are they also playing the rags that you showed me earlier?
So the rhythm element isn't rag, it's called tal.
Tal.
Yeah. And so tal is like a rhythmic cycle in Hindustani music, similar to a group of measures or a single measure in Western classical music. And each one, just like rag, also have these beautiful sound profiles. There are lower beats, there are higher beats, there are beats that are a little more sharp, beats that are a little kind of more open. And so just in the same way that rag is very poetic, tal is also very poetic.
Interesting. So can you show me a tal?
Yes, but before that, I just want to show you what makes the tal, the syllables of tabla. If I say na, if I say tun, if I say te, ke, then both hand dha, dhati dha, dhati dhagina dha, gina dhati dhagina dha, dhati dhagina dha, so it's kind of
amazing, right?
The way you to talk,
So you can express with this language because every tal has a language which fits in to the rhythmic cycle, which is 7 beats or 10 beats or 16 beats. For example, this composition. Dole re jo bana mad ma, that's the one. So he can count the one and I can show you how I play the composition and come back to the one, right?
13, 14, 15, 16, 1.
It's stunning.
Wow.
You see how she was able to sing it and then also play it on the violin? Oh my God. that was amazing, and how everything kind of it sounds like the drums sound like drums, but also sounds like a string with the drum too.
I
If you
love that.
notice that. Oh, that was so nice. Just they're in sync, like they're really together.
It's stunning to me how vocal
It
a
is.
percussion instrument can be.
Yes.
Just like you were saying about singing. It's
I would say Indian classical music is totally based on vocal music, whether it be a melodic instrument, whether it be the voice, or whether it be the tabla, a percussion instrument. So,
it's amazing to me how easy it is for you to do that with your left hand
Yeah.
that you do with your vocal cords. That's very impressive.
Thank you.
You want to teach me?
Sure.
Maybe easier ones.
Easy ones.
Yeah, easy ones.
You see, just one culture to another, and just learning, and and he's able to do it so well. It's amazing.
That's too hard.
Oh my gosh! Like she had to move her fingers literally up that string, and gosh, that's
lesson. I got to study.
Yes.
Can we hear a real piece?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Rag is the scale, tal is the rhythm. They're the Indian versions of key and time signature, shaped by Indian vocal music. Reena draws from these to give her music its unique sound.
That woman dangerous with that thing.
Honestly, you could see it in her.
Oh my goodness!
You can see her eyes. You see how they
Yes.
go to a different planet almost. Change into another person.
She ain't looked at her fingers not once. Just
Not once.
Wow.
But I know that was a bit different, which I love, and it just showcased the talent and beauty, and how even with that music you can hear it in today's music and in the other kinds of music that we saw today. So thank you all so much for joining. What style surprised you the most, or what did you enjoy the most? And if you had to pick one of the destinations to visit, where would you visit today? But I hope you all enjoyed. I quite enjoyed the music.
Yes, that was interesting.
I like all of it.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, I did too.
Where would you go? What did you learn? What was the most surprising? You want to go to New Orleans or Jamaica, Brazil, Ireland, India? Where at?
The jazz.
Wow.
Well, I have never been to Brazil or India or Ireland, so I'd like to go everywhere.
And Alex, even what you left out, it's like Chuck Berry and rock and roll. That's a massive one.
Yeah.
Or how about hip hop or rap in Bronx in the Bronx?
I mean,
Right, Tom?
everything. They're all influenced by this, by what came before us and history and travel. You saw like from Africa to Brazil, that line that flare, and the reasons why we have the music is because of travel and unfortunately human, traveling with or not or against their will or it's even from the tragedies in human history, I think music and other beautiful things come out of it.
Yeah, yes indeed.
Turning lemons into lemonade.
Yes indeed. It's remarkable how some instruments really haven't changed that much over the centuries.
That's true.
And that everything seems to come from the drum, which seems to be the basis of all music.
Drum, yeah.
Well, that's how Kunta Kinte got caught trying to find the right piece of wood to make him a drum.
But isn't that amazing? Where even instruments came from, like the banjo and African Americans and Black people, country music, like country. Yes, some people still don't know that. Unfortunately that or fortunately that Black people have an influence on country music or other cultures. It's not just what you see at face value. The blues and the jazz have other influences, and other kinds of music have their influences from other people. So when we enjoy other music, it's all these different cultures that are intertwined, and we can never forget that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Forget we're living all the different cultures in the U.S. just right here through music and food and all these other things we're going to take a look at.
Yeah, it's remarkable how some of the local groups here who have sold $1 million songs and $1 million albums, which started like the Junkyard Band and Backyard Band when the youngins just went and turned over paint buckets and trash cans and trash can tops and just started beating on them and syncopated all that stuff together. Now you have go-go. Yes. What's in you got to come out. That's why I always say music soothes the savage beast within us.
Oh yeah.
Music alone shall live. They said all things shall perish from under the sky.
Amen.
Music alone shall live, never shall die.
Never shall die.
My God. Hey, what a thing.
What a man, what a man. Thank you, Father.
Oh, well, thank you all for today, Lou. Any final thoughts? What did you enjoy? What is your opinion of music?
I love the interaction of the group today. So much experience with all these different forms of music is beautiful.
Me too. Oh, you all do so amazing, and I try to bring things that we may be kind of familiar with, they're very familiar with, and what we may not be, and it kind of combines. And hope you have a more musical worldview as a result of today's session.
Good job, Coach Alex. Good job.
Good job.
Well, let's say good job to Lou as well. Thank you, Lou.
I didn't do much.
Thank you,
Lou.
Ron,
all the seniors who participated today.
I want that hat, Lou.
$1.25 in Tanzania. I'll bring you back one next time I go.
Well, all right now.
Thank you so much.